The holiday season brings a lot of thoughts and feelings to mind. Thoughts and feelings like being grateful for what you have, being grateful for your family and loving your family, giving gifts to those that are less fortunate or to your loved ones. It's the embodiment of joyfulness, cheerfulness, the season of giving. Or if you're Adam Sandler, it's making fun of people who have seizures and fat people. A lot. And also drunk driving, because that's funny. And poop jokes. There's a lot of poop jokes in this movie. Good God. 8 Crazy Nights might be one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. Certainly the worst animated film I've ever seen. And that covers all bounds. Adult animation, children's animation, stuff that's in between. This is the worst. I can't believe it. I've seen clips of this movie before. I've heard some of the songs before. It was all terrible. But when you actually sit down and watch it, you realize this movie misses the entire point of the holiday season. It's not just based on Hanukkah or Christmas or Kwanzaa. It leaves Kwanzaa out of it, thank God. It didn't do anything bad to that holiday. But it took Hanukkah and Christmas for sure and tainted both of those holidays. That's how bad this movie is. Thank God they left Kwanzaa out. Thank God. Or else they would have had a hat trick of just trying their best to ruin all the feelings that come with December holidays. I really cannot believe how terrible this turned out. And we're going to go into spoilers today for this movie. So for any reason you want to watch 8 Crazy Nights and you don't want it spoiled for you, I'll say this right now, just a quick little review. You would be better off staring at your wall for 6 hours than you would be watching 10 minutes of 8 Crazy Nights. Whether you're trying to do it ironically, whether you're trying to do a review, the fact that I'm doing this review is a mistake. I was going to do an episode of The Secret Lore on 8 Crazy Nights and just make it some fun plot points and theories, call it a Christmas video, and be done with it. That's all I was going to do. But it was so bad that there wasn't anything for me to work with other than just who Adam Sandler is as a person, which, of course, it's been almost 20 years since this movie came out. Who knows if he, kind of came back a little bit to be less mean-spirited. But this movie is just an angry letter by Adam Sandler saying, hey, I think it's funny to be mean to people. And that's literally the whole thing. 90% of the jokes are Adam Sandler being mean to someone or Adam Sandler farting or pooping. In the opening of the movie, he lets out a big green fart, like an actual big, here it is on screen, a big green fart. And it's so funny. It's so funny because he does it at people and children. Does that make you chuckle? God, don't watch this movie. If you can get through the first 2 minutes, I'll be shocked. I actually had to step back a little bit as I started watching the opening of this movie because I could not believe how it turned out. That's your warning. So to start off, let's go over a quick plot synopsis. Adam Sandler plays a character called Davey. Now, Davey is basically just a romanticized version of Adam Sandler in Adam Sandler's own head. Adam Sandler basically justifies himself being a mean, bad person because of something that happened in his past. Or at least that's the story in 8 Crazy Nights. Davey, the character Adam Sandler is playing, his parents died. He used to be the nicest kid. He was the best at basketball. He was the best with the ladies. Hell, he was the best human being on the planet. Then his parents died, and he became jaded and angry, a mean old Grinch. Except he's still awesome, and he's still the best at everything, except he's mean to people. And the movie frames him being mean as funny. All but like 2 times is it framed as him being funny. When the movie actually has to progress and have a plot, then it's actually just mean and it's not funny. But any other time, they'll play it for laughs. So that's Adam Sandler's character. It opens with him, driving on a snowmobile drunk. So drunk driving, great thing for your main character. Ruins a little Christmas pageant, is about to go to prison when all of a sudden a old referee for the youth basketball teams comes out and says, hey, I'll take him in and show him how to do it. Because I knew him when he was younger, before his parents died, and I think he can still be a good person. This character's name is Whitey. He's hairy, he's short, and he has seizures. All those things are supposed to be funny. And he's voiced by Adam Sandler. And the voice he does is... just listen to this.
If you don't shut the door after using the refrigerator, that's it. Tactical foul.
That's him for the whole movie. That's not a throwaway bit. That's how he sounds for the entire movie. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I don't know how this happened, how someone saw this or heard the idea for it and was just like, oh man, that's a great idea. And it should be said right off the bat too, before we really go deep on this movie, this isn't one of the ones Adam Sandler apologists tend to dive onto in defense of. They'll dive on the movies like Billy Madison, which I've never been a very big fan of, but when I was a little kid, I liked Waterboy well enough. I still like The Wedding Singer a good bit, and hell, Happy Gilmore holds a special place in my heart. Jumping to the defense of those movies, I can kind of see, but I grew up with those movies, so I'm biased. I didn't grow up with 8 Crazy Nights, and of all the people I've talked to who did grow up with it, feelings are mutual. It's terrible, and this movie got a loss at the box office, so you can see people just weren't interested from the get-go of this mean-spirited holiday movie. Anyways, the literal story is just Adam Sandler being mean and interacting with people with Whitey while they sing really, really bad songs. Like, really, they're like almost catchy, because Adam Sandler's a okay musician. He's fine. He's nothing spectacular. He can be funny sometimes. But this is just the worst showcase of it. Technical Foul definitely is the highlight of this movie. That song is so horrible. I can't play it for you here because the video will get copyright struck, but I just would treat yourself to it afterwards. Oh my god, that's the one part of this movie people are allowed to see, just to understand how terrible it is. It's just bad song after bad song. Adam Sandler being mean to people. Like, there's a fat kid that's playing basketball, and he gets tripped. And Adam Sandler is acting as a referee with Whitey because he's trying to get trained by Whitey to be a better person, and this is how Whitey thinks to do it. Adam Sandler then goes up to the fat kid that got tripped and just makes fun of him for being fat and tells him to get a bra. Because that's really funny. Because Adam Sandler, in this context, is a grown man making fun of a child for being overweight while playing a sport. Isn't that hilarious? Doesn't that give you the Hanukkah and Christmas tingles of joy and goodwill unto others? This whole movie, everything about Adam Sandler's character is just a projection of himself. He projects himself as the best at everything. He's the best basketball player. There's a moment in this movie when he was a kid, when he was a really nice kid, that he was like, what if we won this year? And his love interest in the film, who plays basketball with him, was like, only way we're winning this year is if you take all the shots. And he goes, yeah. And that's it. He takes all the shots but like one, and they win the basketball game. Because Adam Sandler, sorry, Davey, not Adam Sandler. Davey, the character Adam Sandler plays, is the best human being and the funniest human being. It's just a projection. That's all it is. It's Adam Sandler trying to pump himself up as much as he can. He has an animated movie now. He gets to get the girl. He gets to be horrible to everyone around him and still have it end up okay because, you know, he's the one making the movie. It's an Adam Sandler movie. He can make himself the best of the best. And that's really what this movie feels like. It feels like him just taking it all in and then just putting down other people to make himself feel better, which could have been interesting too. Imagine you have a movie with a character who starts out really mean and terrible to everybody, and you're seeing this, but then you have a character that's able to bring him out of it, like Whitey, who's also voiced by Adam Sandler, but we're not even going to read into that. The fact that Adam Sandler is the only one that can bring Adam Sandler out of the Adam Sandler funk. He has to act of his own. There's stuff that can happen here that's interesting, is what I'm trying to say. Even the concept, bringing Hanukkah and Christmas together into one movie, it's possible. You can pull that off. You can make a movie, a holiday movie, that addresses both those holidays, pays respect to both those holidays and what both those holidays mean to people. You can do that pretty easily. You just have to try this much. And this movie barely tries at anything save for the animation. And God only knows Adam Sandler doesn't have the talent to head up an animation project like this. He was just in charge of the horrible, horrible, mean-spirited jokes. There is one thing I kind of liked about this movie, and it wasn't just bringing Christmas and Hanukkah together. I've already spoken that I think that can work, and that as a concept isn't that bad, but having this small town, this small tight-knit community where kind of everyone knows everybody, that's fun for a holiday movie, because if everyone knows everyone, it's a really tightly knit community, then you get that sense of community, and you can all come together to save the day at the end of the movie. And you can have these small issues like the character Whitey, a referee that's about to retire. He wants to win this little patch it's a little recognition, I guess, for like doing well with the youth basketball program or just being good in the community. That's all he wants. And to many of us, that's a little mundane thing. It's not that important. But to him, it means the world, and that world is that little community. That feeling is really interesting, I think. It's the best part of the movie Christmas with the Cranks, which I can't believe I'm using as an example, because that movie is not very good, but at the end of it, you get that kind of sense of community, of everyone coming together for the holidays, because you have to put things aside and try to be cheerful and show people that there's a way to be nice and all this great Christmassy Hanukkah stuff that you get. And this movie, it has that. It has that set up. It's set up for success until Adam Sandler gets his hands on it and decides that he wants to be the best at everything. He wants to be the funniest, and he can't be the funniest unless all the other characters in the movie are freaks of some sort, except for his love interest. His love interest has to be fuckable. Her kid has to be cute. That's the key. Adam Sandler, he's not gonna go for it. This is a town of weirdos. He and his wife are the gods of it. That's what this movie has to be. It's gross. It feels gross. And that's not even including the crude humor. I've talked about the mean-spirited stuff plenty, but a gigantic fart joke in the first minute is like at the start of Hubie Halloween, which was only a couple years ago, which is why when I hear people say Adam Sandler's changed a lot, he's starting to get good again. The opening of Hubie Halloween, he just vomits on the ground, and that's supposed to be funny. And in the opening of this movie, he farts on a crowd of people. He farts on a crowd of people. And that's a joke in 8 Crazy Nights. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. It's part of the song, too. A song where Adam Sandler sings, and I quote, "I hate love, I hate you, and I hate me." That's his song. And it's supposed to be kind of deep. It's like, oh, he's a troubled soul, this Adam Sandler character, this Davey character. When in reality, it's just a really lazily written song that doesn't mean anything. It's like, oh, he hates everybody. What a Scrooge. Oh, and he's mean to everybody. How are we supposed to like that character at any point? Well, the answer is because it's Adam Sandler. And Adam Sandler gets a free pass for all that stuff for some reason that I don't think I'll ever understand. Why Adam Sandler gets away with being a mean-spirited, angry person in all of his movies. Apart from a few where he's like a dad, I guess, like a lazy father. I don't even know. I won't even dip into those other movies. I'll let all that go for a minute and just focus on this one for a few more, because honestly, it's such a gross movie. It's such a bad movie that completely misses the point of both holidays that it's trying to bring together. I just cannot believe it turned out the way that it did. And I'd always heard this movie was bad, which is why I felt like this video is a bit of a special one for the Christmas season, because it's one of the first times where I can say, like, I don't recommend a movie, but maybe there's something to enjoy. There's nothing to enjoy here, period. I don't see anything of value in this entire movie. I didn't laugh once. Everything about it that was set up for success succeeded in other movies. So go watch those other movies instead of this one that failed miserably. If I had to give 8 Crazy Nights a score out of 10, I'd give it a 1. No question. Lowest I can go. It's the worst thing out there. From beginning to its crappy manufactured happy end that it has, this movie's garbage. There's no reason any human being should watch it. And if I see someone defending it, or if you like this movie, I'd love to hear why. Because I see nothing redeemable in this whatsoever. But at the end of the day, my word's not set in stone. In a way. If you enjoy this movie, you enjoy this movie. And I'm sure there's some people out there that do. I just can't see what people enjoy. So if there's something you did enjoy in this movie, please, I am horribly curious what that could be. And I'd love to hear it down in the comments below. That's part of what makes these videos so fun, when I see something that I'm so passionately for or passionately against in terms. Hearing from you guys and actually seeing what you have to say about it in defense. It's one of the most fun parts of this entire channel as a whole, and I really do appreciate it, and I'm grateful for it. See that? Didn't have to do that with being mean-spirited unless it's towards Adam Sandler. So everyone, make sure to say fuck you to Adam Sandler this Hanukkah and Christmas. And hell, we'll throw Kwanzaa in there too. Fuck you, Adam Sandler. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Merry New Year. Fuck you!